According to sources, Iran is focused on managing the repercussions of Israel's response and will exercise caution rather than rushing into any actions. Greetings, everyone. Today we will be addressing the subject of Iran's response to Israel's attack on its Syrian embassy. Reports indicate that Iran has communicated to the United States its intention to avoid a significant escalation and refrain from hasty actions. Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian delivered this message during a visit to Oman, which has been serving as an intermediary between Tehran and Washington. Iran is advocating for a ceasefire in Gaza and the resumption of talks regarding its disputed nuclear program. Through its diplomatic communication, Iran is demonstrating a cautious approach as it carefully considers how to deter Israel from future similar attacks. Without further delay, let us begin our discussion. According to Iranian sources, Iran has communicated to the United States its intention to respond to Israel's assault on its Syrian embassy in a manner that seeks to prevent significant escalation. Tehran also emphasized that it will not act impulsively while pressing for various demands, including a ceasefire in Gaza. Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian delivered this message to Washington during his recent trip to Oman, a Gulf Arab nation that frequently facilitates communication between Tehran and Washington. While a representative from the White House refrained from providing a response regarding any correspondence received from Iran, they did affirm that the United States has conveyed to Iran that it played no part in the attack on the embassy. The Foreign Ministry of Iran was unavailable for immediate comment. Similarly, the Omani government did not promptly reply to inquiries sent via email during the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Fitr. According to a source familiar with US intelligence, there is no knowledge of the exact message conveyed through Oman, but Iran has made it abundantly clear that its retaliation for the attack on its Damascus embassy compound will be measured and non-escalatory. Their strategy involves utilizing regional proxies to carry out a series of assaults on Israel. This diplomatic messaging indicates that Iran is taking a cautious approach, carefully considering how to respond to the April 1st attack in a manner that deters further Israeli actions while avoiding a military escalation that could potentially involve the United States. Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei declared on Wednesday that Israel must be punished, and it shall be, viewing the attack as an assault on Iranian territory. Although Israel has not officially claimed responsibility, the Pentagon has acknowledged their involvement. The violence in the region, which has been escalating since the onset of the Gaza war, reached a new level with the targeted killing of a prominent Iranian military leader. Tehran, while supporting various groups involved in attacks from Iraq, Yemen, and Lebanon, has managed to steer clear of direct involvement in the regional spillover. Since the beginning of February, there have been no instances of Iranian-backed Shiite Muslim militias launching attacks on US forces in Syria and Iraq. While it is worth noting that one of the Iranian sources did not dismiss the idea that members of the Iran-backed Axis of Resistance could potentially carry out an attack on Israel at any given time, analysts have identified this as a potential form of retaliation. During his meetings in Oman, Amir-Abdollahian conveyed Iran's readiness to de-escalate the situation, provided that certain conditions are fulfilled. These conditions include a permanent ceasefire in Gaza, which Israel has firmly rejected as it aims to suppress Hamas. Additionally, Iran expressed its desire to resume discussions regarding its contentious nuclear program. These talks have remained at a standstill for almost 2 years, with both parties accusing each other of presenting unreasonable demands. According to sources, Tehran also requested guarantees that the United States would refrain from intervening if Iran were to carry out a controlled attack on Israel. However, the United States rejected this demand in a response conveyed through Oman. A source familiar with US intelligence stated that Iran's retaliatory actions would be non-escalatory towards the United States, as they do not desire US involvement. This suggests that Iran would not instruct its proxy militias in Syria and Iraq to target US forces stationed in those regions. On Wednesday, President Joe Biden expressed concern over Iran's intention to carry out a major assault in Israel. He reassured Prime Minister Netanyahu of the unwavering dedication of the United States to ensuring Israel's security against such threats from Iran and its allies. In response, Israel has made it clear that they will retaliate against any aggression from Iran. On Wednesday, Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz made a statement on the social media platform in both Farsi and Hebrew, asserting that if Iran were to launch an attack from its own territory, Israel would retaliate by launching an attack on Iran. Diplomatic experts familiar with Iranian negotiations noted that such uncompromising demands from Tehran are characteristic of their tough stance. However, these communications still indicate their desire to prevent a large-scale conflict. According to Gregory Brew, an analyst at Eurasia Group, Khamenei finds himself in a difficult strategic situation. Iran is faced with the need to respond in order to regain deterrence and uphold its credibility with its allies in the resistance front. However, retaliating to restore deterrence would inevitably provoke a larger and more devastating Israeli response, potentially with the support of the United States. According to Iranian sources, the United States has urged Iran to demonstrate restraint and create room for diplomatic negotiations. Tehran has been warned that if a direct attack were to occur, the US would support Israel. The Iranian sources also revealed that Iran suspects Netanyahu's intentions are to provoke a conflict, prompting Tehran to respond with caution. As a result, Iran's retaliation may be measured, avoiding direct assaults on Israeli soil and potentially relying on support from its allies. According to a source familiar with the matter, the US envoy for the Middle East recently reached out to the foreign ministers of Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and Iraq. The purpose of this communication was to request their assistance in delivering a message to Iran, urging them to de-escalate tensions with Israel. Additionally, the same source mentioned that the US would be open to the idea of resuming nuclear negotiations if it could help prevent a potential conflict. According to an anonymous source, if the objective is to engage in discussions rather than to achieve a resolution, then it would be highly beneficial to invest in order to mitigate the possibility of a regional conflict that could potentially involve the United States. Ali Vaez, representing the International Crisis Group, expressed that Iran is faced with the challenge of determining a course of action that allows them to respond in a manner that preserves their reputation without jeopardizing their own well-being. According to him, Israel exhibits a level of unpredictability that surpasses that of the United States. The Supreme Leader's apprehension is evident as he fears that an assault on Israel could potentially backfire and lead to an escalation of conflict contrary to his desired outcome of deterrence. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.